Now that we know what the whole numbers are, let's think about how we represent them. We represent whole numbers using two things, using digits and place values. All right, let's talk about digits first. The first 10 whole numbers have their own symbols. 0, we write with just an open circle. Sometimes we cross it or put a dot in it when we're trying to avoid confusion with the letter O. I usually write 0 this way, though I put a dot in it when I think it could be confusing. 1 represents just one thing. We can write it either with just a simple up and down line, or with an upsweep, and a line under it. I'll usually write 1 this way, though if I'm trying to avoid confusion, again, I'll use one of these two. 2 represents 1, 2 things. I write the number 2 this way. If you like to avoid confusion with the letter Z, you may write the number 2 this way. 3, I almost always see written this way. Very occasionally this way. It represents 1, 2, 3 things. 4 represents 1, 2, 3, 4 things. I usually write the number 4 this way. Many people write it so that it meets at the top. That's fine. A lot of people write it in one continuous stroke. I tend to discourage writing the digit 4 this way because it's easily confused with the digit 9. I really recommend that you write your digit 4 using 2 strokes. 5 represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Some people write it with 2 strokes or with 1 stroke. If you're writing your 5 with 2 strokes, make sure it doesn't look like a 3. If you're writing it with 1 stroke, make sure it doesn't look too much like the letter S. 6 represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. As far as I know, there's really only one way to write it, just as a single continuous circle. Make sure your digit 0 and your digit 6 look different. In particular, your 0 should meet up at the top. Your 6 should meet up down below in the spiral. I have seen many people make very bad mistakes as a result of mistaking 0s for 6s or 6s for 0s. Don't do what Johnny Don't does. 7 represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. I cross my 7s. Many people don't. The key is to make sure that your 7s, your 2s, and your 1s all look different than one another. 8 represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. I write my 8s with 2 circles stacked on top of each other. Many people write them with 1 continuous stroke. That is also fine. Make sure that your 8s are upright and that they close at the top. This symbol and this symbol are both other things, not 8. I will probably know that you meant 8 if you write either of these things because we have not met either of these symbols yet. However, it's good to be in the habit of making sure that your 8s close at the top. 9 represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things. I write my 9s with a stroke around and then a stroke down. Some people write them as sort of an upside down 6. That's also fine. Again, make sure that your 9 and your 4 look different from each other. If you write 4 this way, make sure that your 4 does not close at the top and your 9 does. Or otherwise, train yourself to write 4 this way so that you can tell the difference. And that's it. Those are all of the symbols that we use to represent whole numbers. But there are certainly whole numbers bigger than 9. How do we represent those? Well, as we're counting, we have 0, right, for no things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we start again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But that's no good, right? Because this, then, is this the first time I've said 8 or the second time I've said 8? I solved this problem by writing another digit that represents how many times I've already been through the cycle. I've been through the cycle 0 times at each of these numbers, and then 1 time at each of these numbers. Oh, but we know the names of these numbers, don't we? This is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And we can continue in this way until we get all the way up to 99. But maybe we're still counting, right? So then we'll need another 0. How do we distinguish between the first time we got 0, 0 and the second time we got 0, 0? Well, in the same way. We write a new digit, another place to the left, representing how many times we've already been through the cycle of the first 100 numbers. So how do we read, then, a number like this, 258? We think of these places as indicating their value. The 5 indicates we've already been through the cycle of 10 digits 5 times. We call this the tens place, that's the length of the cycle, and we say that there's a 5 there. The 2 indicates that we've already been through the cycle of 100 two-digit numbers 2 times. So we call this the hundreds place. So what does it mean when we say 258? Well, it means we have 2 groups of 100 things, 5 groups of 10 things, and then 8 more things. Notice what happens as we go up places. A digit in the ones place just represents 8 things. A digit in the tens place represents 10 things. A digit in the hundreds place represents hundreds of things. If I went over another place, well, it would represent tens of hundreds or thousands of things. We call these the place values of the numbers.